Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a get ready with you for date night. I'm going out with my boyfriend tonight and I'm really excited. I put in the extra effort, my hair is curled, I did a full face, I'm using a new full coverage foundation. We're just really going all out here. So I hope you guys enjoy this get ready with me, and if you want to see how I got this makeup look right here, then let's get started. Starting off with eyes, I'm going to prime using my MAC Painterly Paint Pot in my damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to even out my eyelids. For eyeshadow, I've just still been loving this Persona Color Theory Copper palette. It's just super beautiful, and I've been using these two shades every day, so I think I might try to mix in some of these darker ones since it's date night. So I'm going to take the off-white shade here with my big fluffy brush and just go all over my lid, all the way up to my brow, and this is just going to set the primer that I just laid down, and I just love doing this. Some people don't like the shiny look all over, so if that's the case, just use a matte eyeshadow or your face powder or whatever you want to kind of set the base, but I like the shimmery look. I think it just kind of brightens everything up and I just like it, so I'm going to go for that. And then I'm going to take that light brown shade, which is that second shade in the palette, on the same big fluffy brush. This is what I do all the time. This is what the only two shades that I used in my last Get Ready With Me video, because this is just the easiest eyeshadow look. I just love a kind of easy brown in the crease and shimmer all over. This is like my go-to everyday look, but we're not going to stop here this time. We're going to try to add more shadows, I promise. Now that that's done, I'm going to actually go in with the Persona brush that they send with the palette, and this is actually like a super soft brush. I was about to try it on my cheek, but it has orange eyeshadow on it, so good thing I didn't do that. But it's a super soft brush. I'm going to pick up this Brick shade, which is like a nice orangey shade. I'm just going to tap off a little bit of the excess because this is actually really pigmented, which is super nice. And then I'm just concentrating it mostly on this outer corner here, but then sweeping it through the lid as well. And I think orangey tones and these coppery tones complement blue eyes really good, and especially since I'm wearing blue as well, it's like a nice contrast color. And I just love the way that it looks, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and then go back and blend both of them. This brush is so soft, honestly, I could just blend with this forever. Like, I can hardly feel this on my eye. I like love how soft this brush is. Now that that's done, before I blend it out with the light brown color again, I want to do this shimmery copper shadow on the lid. So I'm going to find a dense brush here. I think I'm going to use this one. This is my Sigma E55, which is like kind of my favorite classic brush to kind of just pack on shimmer on the lid. And I've never used this shimmer shade in here before, so I'm pretty excited. Or have I used this? I don't think I have. But I'm just going to pick some up here, tap off any excess once again, and just press this onto the eyelid. This is a super beautiful shade, and I think it really makes like my eyes pop. I think this would really look really flattering on any blue or probably green-eyed person, or brown eyes. Honestly, any color eyes I think looks good with orange eyeshadow, but it's just particularly striking with blue. So I'm gonna keep blending the edges a little bit now that we got the shimmer down, and then we're gonna move on. So you definitely can add like this brick shade or even like the dark brown under the eyelid, but on me, I just like tend to not like eyeshadow under my eye. I don't know why, it just kind of makes me look older or something, I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't look as flattering as I want it to, so I'm gonna just keep the eyeshadow on my upper lid today, so it's not gonna be a super dramatic smoky look by any means, but I think the bright orange is, hopefully it's showing up on camera as like very bright and striking. So I'm gonna leave it there, and now I'm just trying to decide if I'm gonna do eyeliner or not. So I think I am going to do winged eyeliner, so I'm going to take my old standby combination and start out with the Maybelline Unstoppable eyeliner in Onyx, and I just really love a blacked wing liner, but this Persona kit does come with like a brown liner that's also really nice if you like that. But I'm just in like a black cat eye kind of mood, I think, and this is a brand new eyeliner of this because I recently used up my last one. I've gone through countless numbers of this eyeliner, I just love it. That part of the eyeliner is done, and now I'm going to do the cat eye with my Kat Von D Trooper tattoo liner, and I just shook this up to make sure the product comes out nice, and I'm just going to make the wing. Okay, the winged eyeliner is not particularly even today, so we're just going to go right in with mascara to cover that up, and I'm using my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara. And if you guys have any really good mascara recommendations, I'd love to hear them, preferably drugstore, because every high-end one that I buy just never seems to be worth it, and my favorite Tarte one just hasn't been coming through for me lately, so I'm on the market for a new mascara, and I feel like I really like this Lash Paradise formula. I love how it looks, but it does transfer on me a little bit because I really don't like the waterproof one. This is the non-waterproof one, and I really like how it looks, but it just kind of transfers on me a little bit. I feel like once this dries out, like with my last tube of this, once it dried out, I really liked it a lot better, but when it was fresh, I'm just not a fan. Now I'm ready to do my base, and I think I'm actually going to use my Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willowherb today. This is the one that comes out like kind of a foamy mousse, and I always accidentally like get too much out, so let's try to get a little bit. Okay, that's like should be plenty actually. It's so cold, it actually feels really nice because it's really warm in here right now. It just has the weirdest texture, but I feel like it actually works pretty nice on my skin, and Origins is a nice like clean beauty brand. Okay, and now for foundation, I actually have a new one. This is a cult favorite foundation. I've just never tried it, which is crazy. I've actually tried, I'll just tell you what it is. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Everyone knows this foundation. I have oily skin. I don't know why I'm so late to the game. This is like the #1 foundation that everyone recommends. I have used the Double Wear Light, which I really, really like actually. And I have this in the shade 0.5, but I got the Double Wear in the shade 1N1, which is Ivory Nude, and that seemed to be the best match for me. I actually really like on Sephora's app now, and I think on their website, there's like a little shade finder tool, so you put in a foundation that you know is a really good match for you, and it will kind of suggest a like match for you. So this is the one it suggested, and then I also went in the store to pick this up today, and it looked pretty good. So I'm gonna try this out, and I also bought this, I got suckered into it. Freaking Sephora emailed me and they're having more 20% off for another weekend for rouges, and it's like, as if I didn't make enough orders already, you're gonna give me another 20% off coupon. So anyway, I'd had my eye on this, so I had to pick it up. So I'm really hoping that this foundation, I just shook it up a little bit by the way to make sure it's nice and mixed and not separated. I'm really hoping that this foundation just becomes my new holy grail foundation, if I can get it open, oh my gosh. Because I've just really been in kind of a rut with my foundations recently, and I just haven't like found that holy grail one. I've really been loving the Lawless Woke Up Like This, which I have right here, but I'm kind of going through it pretty quickly, so I needed something else. And also this one is really beautiful because it gives you that nice like glowy finish, and I really like that. But sometimes, since I have such oily skin, like for a date night or for a special event where I'm going to be wearing my makeup for a long time, I tend to prefer a more matte look, just because I don't want to get like too greasy, especially if there's going to be photos taken, or like I just want to kind of like look my best and have my skin look like flawless. So I just picked some of this up on here. And the other reason that I bought this foundation is because I have been watching Mrs. Hinch on Instagram. Do you guys watch Mrs. Hinch? I bet you do. She has 1.3 million followers, which is just crazy. This color looks like it's gonna be good. But anyway, if you don't follow Mrs. Hinch, you need to go on Instagram right now and look up, I think her full handle is Mrs. Hinch Home or something like that. It's totally addicting. She just posts stories of her cleaning her house, and she's British, I want to say, and she is just hilarious. Like, it's amazing. It's inspired me to clean my whole house. I bought a bunch of cleaning supplies, and just everything about her is just hilarious and amazing and makes you want to clean your house. But then she also, like, she very rarely kind of shows her face in her videos. It's mostly just like the room or the house and like the actual cleaning that's going down. But she's posted a few selfies, and she's like gorgeous. Like, you hear her voice and see like the cleaning Instagram that she's doing, and you think like, oh, this will be, you know, some homely middle-aged woman, but she's like super hot and young. And anyway, she's posted a few selfies and she just looks incredible, and she says that this is the foundation that she's using. So right then I was like, well, I have to buy it, and I'm really loving this so far. It's actually applying really nice. It's not looking too matte, like it's not drying too quickly, but it's still drying and kind of matting down. I'm really liking this. I've kind of blended in a full layer of this foundation and actually tried to add a little bit more to my nose, and on my cheeks I'll kind of come closer. Sorry, the light from the blinds is kind of ruining it, but it's really covered a lot of my discoloration and really evened out my skin. I think this color match is perfect for me, and I really like the finish of it. As you can see, it's kind of just like skin-like. Like, it's not, and not skin-like in a shiny, dewy skin-like way, but just in like a nice, like demi-matte skin way. Like, this is what I like want my skin to look like. And I think it's blending really nicely. I think the coverage is good. It's considered a medium to full coverage. I would say, like, with one layer it's more of a medium coverage, but I'm hoping you can build it up. I tried to just build it up on my nose a little bit, but it's not really working. It's kind of separating, and as you can see my nose is just kind of red there, so I'm going to try to add just a little bit more all over. So I'm getting a bigger dollop here and just going to I'll try to spread this around to see what kind of coverage we can get out of this bad boy. So far my feedback on this is it's very difficult to layer, so I kind of spoke too soon earlier. It did kind of dry down matte fairly quickly, like too quickly, so that I couldn't like add another layer on top. I should have like done that a little quicker and not been like chatting about Mrs. Hinch, but I mean, I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to salvage it with concealer and powder later, and the coverage is good, and I like that it's mattifying. I think the way that it feels and the like reviews that I've read, hopefully it's just long lasting. So I'm just going to move on to concealer, and I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer in the shade 1C, and just do this guy under the eyes. This has been my favorite. I've been wearing it like every day, as you saw in my last Get Ready With Me, where I did kind of my everyday makeup that I've been literally rocking every day up until today. So I just dab that in and then grab my beauty blender and blend it in. Alright, and my under eye concealer is mostly blended out here, and then I just kind of took any excess that was on my sponge still and applied it like onto my nose where I felt that the coverage was kind of lacking from the foundation. And then I'm going to set it with my favorite setting powder at the moment. This is the Lawless Seal the Deal Loose Setting Powder in Brightening Translucent. This is like their peachy shaded one. And I'm just going to tap some of that into the lid and pick it up with my beauty blender as well, and then not seriously bake, but just set under the eyes in a baking type way. Okay, under eye powder is set and the light is going, so I'm going to try to speed this up here, but I'm going to set my whole face with my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Light Plus, just because this is my like standby favorite face powder. Like, I test out every foundation with this because it's just my absolute like all-time favorite. I've recently only been using the Lawless powders, but this is just my like to this date favorite finish in a powder. I like that it has a little bit of coverage. I like that it has a little bit of like sheen and that mineral finish, so it just really makes your skin look natural and beautiful. But it's not cruelty free, it's not natural and all that, so I've been trying to like love the Lawless as much as I love this, and I do love the Lawless. It's just like a slightly different look, and I want to just kind of have a more full coverage luminous look for date night tonight, so I'm going to go with this, my favorite powder. Okay, sorry if the light is changing, the sun is setting and it's kind of coming in the blinds weird, so I had to fix them, and then now I feel like it's too dark in here, but hopefully you can still see what I'm doing for the rest of this tutorial. I'm going to go in with my, what is this, Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer. This is in the shade 00, which is for blondes. And I just haven't used this in a while, and I'm just feeling a change up, so I'm going in with my Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush. And I just feel like, you know, I'm wearing an Esteé Lauder foundation, just the Guerlain bronzer makes sense. I don't know why, they're just both cult products. And I just feel like it's gonna come out nice. I have faith. Face is all bronzed up, and I forgot how beautiful that bronzer is. I'm really glad I used it. It's really good if you have fair skin. Like, it took me a little bit to kind of build it up to this shade, which is still like pretty light, I would say, and natural looking, but it just really gives a nice like warm tan look to fair skin. Like, this is a very natural tan looking bronzer, I feel. Hopefully that it looks that way on camera for you. Okay, and now for highlighter, here it is. I'm going to use the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop, of course. What else would we be using but the queen of all the highlighters? So I'm going to take my favorite highlighter brush now. This is the Morphe M501. This has kind of replaced all my other highlighter brushes, and I just love using it. I think I get like such good control with it, and it just kind of still applies the like product in a diffused way, but it still looks good. Oh yeah, I just love this brush. And I haven't used this highlighter in a while because I just feel like sometimes it's a little too dark on me because of how fair my skin is, but I think it still definitely works if you're tan. Like, if you're tan and, if you're fair. If you're fair and you're considering this highlighter, don't be scared of it. I'm just gonna pop some in the inner corners as well. I think it's not the most perfect fair skin highlighter out there, but don't be scared that it's like not gonna work for you. You can make it work. Make it work. And of course I'm wearing this highlighter because this is what Mrs. Hinch recommended, so I just had to bust it out. And I think this kind of like warm peachy shade kind of coordinates well with the eye look we have going, so we're just gonna convince ourselves that it was the right choice. Okay, now for blush, I'm still loving these Essence Satin Touch blushes, and this is in the shade Satin Coral, which is probably my favorite shade out of the two. Satin Love, I actually love, and I've been wearing every day for the past couple of weeks, but this one was kind of the original one that I had, and I like more. I think that this one, Satin Coral, is like a little bit more neutral and a little bit more wearable with kind of any look. It just kind of gives that like bronzy, like peachy glow to the cheeks, whereas Satin Love is more like rosy or something. I don't know. Satin Love is just darker. This one's a little lighter and more subtle, I think. So this, if you're gonna buy one, I would definitely recommend this one, Satin Coral. But if, I mean, they're only like $1, $2, $3. I forgot. They're super cheap. So just buy both. You need both. They're incredible. But if you just want to buy one, go with Satin Coral. Okay, almost done trying to wind this up here. I'm going to do my brows, and I'm looking for my brow pencil, which always escapes. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to use my Anastasia pencil just to brush my brows up, and I'm gonna use my like favorite, which is this LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil in Brunette, and this actually has a phenomenal spoolie on the end. It's really sturdy. It hasn't done me dirty. It's just, you know when you have one of these for too long and you like brush your eyebrows with them every day? Now this spoolie is just kind of too dirty that it's just not working like it used to, I feel. So that's why I use the other brush. Otherwise, I just really love this spoolie. That brush is totally unnecessary. That was just maybe an extra. I'm just going to fill in the brows with this guy, and then we're gonna finish with lips. So I've hardly even mentioned like this date night that I'm getting ready for. That's like the whole reason for the video. So I'm going on a cute little date tonight with my boyfriend, and we're trying out a new vegan restaurant that we've never been to before, which could be a little risky, but could be very rewarding. Oh my God, I just drew a straight up line across my forehead. What the heck? Okay, this is why Chatty Get Ready With Me's are hard, because I can't concentrate on two things at once. Okay, the hard part of the brows is over. I'm just going to brush through them again with this brush to make sure that they're not too harsh, especially in this middle part here. We don't want the Sharpie brows. Okay, and then to set them, I'm going to use my Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Mascara in the shade Soft Brownie Brows. And I really like this. This is another great cheap Essence find that you need in your life if you're like trying to spend all that money on like Glossier Boy Brow or the Benefit one or all these other ones. Those are great. I've tried all of them, but I think this is just as good, and it's $3, so I don't know. And I totally forgot to finish off mascara before we do lips, and I'm going to use my Clinique. This one's like the Lash Flutter to Full mascara or something. I use this as my bottom lash mascara, and I'm feeling the bottom lash mascara today. My look just didn't look complete without it. I feel like when you're wearing this much eyeshadow, even though this isn't tons, I just feel like you need to balance it out a little bit, even if you're not going to put shadow down on the bottom. Now for lips, I've been absolutely loving a bunch of drugstore lip products, and that's actually going to be my next video. I'm going to talk to you about like all these amazing nude lipsticks from the drugstore, but I just feel like I've been wearing them all the time recently and in every video, so I'm not going to pick one today. I also feel like, you know, trying to be a little fancy for day night, you know, put in the extra effort. So I'm going to wear a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, you know, be a little bougie, because obviously my boyfriend's going to notice the difference. Okay, so I'm going to start out with liner though, and this is a drugstore one just because I can't find my Charlotte Tilbury one, or actually I know where it is, I just don't want to go get it because it's in the cabinet in the other room. So I'm going to use my NYX, this is their like retractable lip liner in the shade Nude, which is, I would say, comparable to Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, lip liner's on, and now I'm going to use this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Miss Kensington, which was a limited edition one, but I think this is from what I can tell, this is extremely similar to the Pillow Talk lipstick that came out. It's also very similar to, I have the Kim KKW one, which is a little lighter, but they kind of give similar effects. I mean, and then I think there's one other one, one of the nude ones, maybe it's Kidman's Kiss, or I don't know. She has a few nude lipsticks that are very similar to this limited edition one, so don't feel like you can't recreate the look or you need to hunt down this one that they don't make anymore. I would just go with the new Pillow Talk lipstick by Charlotte Tilbury. And then I'm just going to quickly open up my Champagne Pop highlighter again and grab my brush and just highlight the Cupid's bow a little bit more. I already did the tip of my nose and the cheeks and the inner corners, but right here is just a little, you know, sassy for date night. Okay, and that's it. So this is the finished look. Hopefully you guys can still see it and it's not too dark, even though the sun is like mostly setting. I'm really happy with how this came out. This foundation actually totally looks beautiful with the powder. I think it dries a little matte, I would say. Like this forehead line right here is just really defined. I mean, that might be just because I'm really tired, but like that needs to be fixed. This is just really showing too much So anyway, it does dry pretty matte. I think it's settling into my fine lines just a little bit, and I wasn't impressed with how the powder kind of built up coverage, especially on my nose and my chin, which is kind of my problem areas, but it does feel very drying. If you have any sort of like normal to dry skin, I would say this is definitely gonna feel like one of those like moisture sucking foundations that kind of dries your skin out, but I actually love how it looks. I love this bronzer blush highlighter combo. I'm really happy with this date night look, and I hope you guys enjoyed kind of getting ready with me for date night and hearing about my weird obsession with Mrs. Hinch and just trying out some products that, I mean, this is a cult product. Why haven't I tried this before? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please leave me a comment down below if there's any products that you think that I would enjoy that I should have used today. I love hearing from all of you, and thank you so much for watching.